Hello, this is Rich Campy, CEO of Pro Advisor Coach. Over the next 5 to 9 minutes, I'm going to take you through the client segmentation and the proper approach. This is by far one of, if not the best, way to build your business quickly and with the best leverage versus effort. It comes from this premise of really making deposits, relational currency deposits into your best relationships. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it and take you right through the client segmentation. So you can see here on the left that we have revenue, high to serve, a high revenue on the top, low revenue on the bottom left, and then high effort to serve on the bottom right, low effort to serve on the bottom left. And what happens is we start getting clients represented by these red dots. And then we get more clients, right? And we get more and more clients, and it gets very difficult to service all those clients. Even if you get, into the 50, 100, 200, 300, 400 range, even over 50 clients gets very difficult to service at the level maybe sometimes we'd want to. And so we could segment these into 4 different quadrants. And I would say, which quadrant would you want your clients in? And many would say they'd want them in quadrant number 1, which would be high revenue, low effort to serve, which, resonates. I hear you. At the same time, that's actually where the competitors take the clients away and where you can take them from competitors. So we really want to be in that upper right quadrant, which is the deliver high value. However, it might not be you that's driving that high value. So we want to set up the systems, processes that the value is being driven from the overall team or from the experience that you're able to wow those clients with, not necessarily from any one person. In fact, we want to keep any one person out of the critical mass or critical path and make that happen from a united front. So some of you might get that call from that client. It's like, wow, it's a high revenue client, but you want to pound yourself in the head with a hammer because it's that call that they're going to be complaining or they're upset or they're just not fitting with your value system overall. And the big danger a lot of business owners make is they only evaluate their clients based on the demographics. Let me dive into that a little bit more and show you what I'm saying here. So demographic are the parts we can measure: income, age, title, role, family status, career potential, right? We can really get our arms around and measure these. So let's say in this example, we picked 5 of these demographic attributes: household income, age, recurring revenue, transactional revenue, and revenue potential. We would then put these on the list on the left side here, and you can see on the top, we have a scoring system 1 to 5. So if this person's age was 40 to 49, how many points would they score? Just answer out loud. Go ahead and shout it out. No one's listening. Put it out there. Now, they'd score 4 points. And recurring revenue, let's say that they were 1,000 or less, they'd score 1 point. And revenue potential, right? If they're high revenue potential, now this one's a little bit gauge. We could put a number in there, but let's say they're high revenue potential. How many points would they score? You got it, 5 points. So in this example, this person scored 5 points for age, 5 points for household income, 3 points for recurring revenue, 5 points for transactional revenue, and high in the revenue potential area. So they scored a total of how many points? Go ahead and shout it out. Always learn better when you're actively involved. So put it out there. That would be correct. 5, 5, 3, 5, 5 would be 23 points. And then this is the part that we usually miss as business owners of what are the psychographic needs? These are the needs that are a little softer, a little more heartfelt, but really important, because if we align at this level, then we're really into the passion, purpose, profit. We're excited about working with these clients. We're great at working with them, and we generate revenue at the same time. So really important. But let's say in this example, we pick these 5 attributes: willingness to refer, quality relationship, network potential, long-term savers, and values advisor relationship. And you can see these listed on the left side. And then we've got the scoring system similar 1 to 5. And in this case, we ended up with quality relationship is a 5, long-term savers 4, values advisor relationship 5, network potential 5, willingness to refer. So how many points in this situation? Did you get it? 23. That's right. 5, 4, 5, 5, and 4. 23 points. And if we then look at our scoring, in this case, this client scored 23 plus 23, 23 in the demographic, 23 in the psychographic, for a total of 46 points, which puts them at a platinum level. So the key here is to make sure you're standing out, right? We don't want to be all things to all people, and really understanding your platinum clients and how you can help to wow them through relational currency, but also understanding what's important to them so you can wow them through that. And so looking at what's important to them and then starting to build out, what are the service grids? Like, what are you going to do from a business standpoint to service those ideal clients? And you may have something that starts to look like this. And notice that everyone arrives safely, gets great service, even our bronze level, but the platinum are getting a higher level of service than everyone else. So we really want to focus in our energy and our effort to make sure we're servicing those platinum clients really, really well. Then we got the marketing grid, right? This is really building the relational currency. This is like birthday cards, anniversary cards, maybe pumpkins on Thanksgiving that say, you know, have a blessed Thanksgiving, a lot to be grateful for. Maybe you're sending out baskets for their grandkids when they come to visit with some balloons and kites in it that say, enjoy the time with the grandkids. Maybe it's a handwritten note. So we have a whole list of things that you can use for that. And there's 3 different categories of that we've laid out from lots of time working with business owners. And so we can get that to you. Just send an email over to info@proadvisorcoach.com and ask for the ideal client wow list, the ideal client wow list, with it in the subject line, ideal client wow, and just ask for that and we'll get you a copy of that. All right. So what do they really want, right? You have to understand what's important to your ideal clients. And then once we have that, then we're listing our clients on this left part. You can see John Doe's listed there, their birth date, their anniversary. These are some common things that we want to be aware of and make sure we're leveraging those relationships in the right way to build the relational currency with you know, interacting with them in some of these other ways besides the traditional business side of what's there. So this is a quick template. Here's the one that's a little bit more detail. In a perfect world, we're actually wowing an ideal client 1 time per month. We talked about the 3 buckets of how we can add value. That's that wow ideal client list that we have. And we'd want to pick 4 per bucket. So there's 3 buckets and we want to pick 4 per bucket, which gives us a total of 12 for the wow experiences per year. And do they really know what you have to offer, right? Hey, you're trustworthy and you're on time and you really care. Well, that's what everyone says. What really makes you different and unique than every other business owner that's out there and every other product that's out there? What really helps you stand out? Like, as Pro Advisor Coach, there's 3 things that we do that's really, really unique. You know, one is we have top coaches. Like, we have a team of coaches that have a lot of business experience. They're really good at what they do. We use a lot of technology and best practices. So we interact a lot with technology to leverage that. And we're the clearest coaching firm that I'm aware of that tracks return on investment and return on value through our 10-second rule. So those are the 3 things we have: the top coaches, the best practices through technology, and we have the best return on investment, return on value that we actually measure it. So what do you do as a business owner that makes you different and unique, that helps you stand out from everybody else? And that'll make a huge difference. And be careful, because sometimes we think that we're unique, but we're just like everybody else. So what are you doing really to stand out? So this is a really great return on investment type tool. Basically, what we've seen is that from your ideal clients, which would be about 10% of your total client book of business, it's about 10% is your ideal clients, you should get 6 favorable introductions per year per ideal client on average if you're doing this effective. And here's a quick scale of that. So if you had 20 ideal clients, you're getting 5,000 from an ideal client in a year. If you're getting the 6 favorable introductions, that puts you at 120. If you are able to get introduced to just 60 of the 120, and then you close 30 of those, you end up with $150,000 in new income for that year by following this model. And this is a very, very conservative return on investment when you look at these numbers and how it starts to play out. So once you get all that built, demographic, psychographic, then you have your grids, relational currency, all laid out for the month and the quarters, and Then we want to get the value conversations in. And this is really important because we found when we interviewed ideal clients back 8-9 years ago now, that these were the gap questions. So we want to shore these up. So one thing we want to do really early is have, a scoring for ourselves, and then start to meet with those ideal clients to understand what's happening. And so how many of your ideal clients do you think know that they're ideal? It's actually about 6% is what we found know that they're ideal clients. How many specifically know why they're ideal? And they'd say, you'd be surprised, it's not just about the money, right? What are the psychographic? Do they understand that too? So how many know why? It's even less than that, right around 4%. How many ideal clients know specifically why you're unique or different? Not just that you're trustworthy and you return their call, but what makes you unique and different, right? It's about 6% on that. How many ideal clients know you want to grow your business? This was shocking. Only 5%, 7% range actually know you want to grow your business. That's scary. If they don't know, how are they going to give you favorable introductions? And how many can articulate your value proposition to somebody else? Not just understand it, but actually articulate it, right around 4%. And how many relational currency touch points do you have? We recommend at least 6 per ideal client, but you really want to get up towards that 12, where once a month, you're creating a wow experience for an ideal client. So here's the quick script. So you identify the ideal clients, you compliment them. Hey, ideal client, thank you so much. You're so valuable to us. You gain feedback from them and say, what can we do better? What can we improve on? What do you like? When you ask for introductions, you'd want to ask for people they respect using memory joggers. Who do you know at the golf course? Who do you know at the country club? Who do you know on the tennis courts? Who do you know in your neighborhood? Who do you know that you respect at church? Who do you know you respect in the synagogue? Who do you respect at work, right? So using the word respect and memory joggers, trying to trigger some memory and come up with a list of names. Then you break it down to the short list of names, right? By asking them, hey, based on what you know about us and what we've talked about, where do we have the best fit? And then you coach them to make the intro, not just a referral, but an intro, much different, right? An intro means that they're actually handing it off. And so a handoff would be something like, hey, Mr. Ideal Client, you recommended Sue as someone that you really respect. Could you send an email? In fact, I'll send you a copy of the email to send or a text, and it might be something like this. Hey, I've been working with Rich for the last 3 months. He's amazing. He's really helped our business a lot. Sue has been a great friend and someone I really trusted for the last 10 years at work. I really have a lot of respect for you. I'd highly recommend the two of you connect. Here's your phone numbers and enjoy your conversation together. I'm sure you guys will have a great connection. So actually coaching the ideal client in how to make the favorable introduction, that it's a proper handoff and not just a toss over the fence. How many times we're at a party and we go, oh, I introduced you I was mentioning to Sue the other day, my neighbor, about you, and then it goes out the window, right? Or I was at work the other day and I mentioned that I needed to connect you with Bill, and it goes out the window, right? So when that happens, see if you can close the loop. Say, oh, tell me a little bit more about Bill. Tell me a little bit more about Sue. How do you usually interact with them? And then see if you can create the connection that way. So coaching them on how to make that proper handoff of the baton, not just tossing it over the fence, which would be a referral, okay? Much different. All right, so I'm gonna wrap up with this last part here, which is really a grid that we use. And here it is. I'll start with the home page. And this is just a template. Again, send this over to info@proadvisorcoach.com and ask for the ideal client segmentation. And you can just see here, it's just basically taking what we went through in that presentation and having it in a really easy template that you can use. So you're listing here the descriptions in column B, the abbreviations in column A, and then how many points. So you put in there similar to what you saw in the yellow on the graph is how would you score in those areas, like household income would be in column B7, and lay that out, right? And so just going through there and you kind of see the parts and everything is scored for you, and it just lays it out all the way down to the gap questions and the VIP. All right, so this is Rich Campy saying thank you so much for joining us, and send an email, info@proadvisorcoach.com, and ask for those two parts, the client segmentation tool and the ideal client wow service grids. Talk to you soon.